beautiful day. It is February 28th, 2022. It is currently Monday and it is 4:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, so wow, tomorrow is March 1st already. We're wrapping up the first quarter here soon, going into the spring season. Going into my birthday month. Yes, I am a Pisces, for those of you who didn't already know that. March 11th, 2022, I will be 35 years of age, and I am excited about that. This year, I have a lot of great things that I am introducing and launching here on my birthday. Which is something that I normally do if I have like any fun projects or launching like a website or a new product line, anything like that. In the past, I've usually done that on my birthday. So I'm excited to be celebrating, all of my hard work and dedication in that regard, and staying true to this assignment, this project, even though there's been a ton of ups and downs, obstacles, and still are things that need to be overcome. But for the most part, things are progressing beautifully, and I'm grateful for that and couldn't ask for more. So I want to start out by expressing gratitude and saying thank you to my supporters. If you're someone who's already become a Black Card member on Patreon, where we have OGs United. We just recently graduated from the OG Academy to OGs United. That is where we have our Black Card access, our membership area, where we pretty much have the history of, everything that we've been tracking and, systems we've been exploring and platforms in the digital space. Magazines, documentaries, books, audio books, just podcasts, platforms. We've just been exploring different platforms and pretty much trying to decide where we want to plant roots and sprinkle some seeds and, grow and build empires. So, it's been very interesting being an observer in this season and seeing some of your mega platforms like your Google with YouTube and Facebook. Now we are calling Meta, still Facebook, Instagram with all the merges and so forth, and just seeing how they are managing the content of, creators and leaders and influencers who are in alignment with and speaking truth versus the brainwashing BS that, we've been getting, all our lives. So, like I said, being an observer, being present, thanks to great teachers, wise teachers and sages like Eckhart Tolle with his prophetic projects known as The New Earth, which was a book, an audio book he has, as well as The Power of Now, which I studied for a season early on in my journey. So he spoke a lot about being an observer and being present and the importance of that in manifesting, our true desires in life and having true peace and experience and bliss and love and, vitality and all the great things that we want to experience as humans, as men, women, and children. So with that being said, those teachings have most definitely been useful in all of these changes and transitions that, are taking place in the world when it comes to how we're approaching what we call health and wellness and personal care and, just working and, being able to provide the quality of life that we desire for ourselves and our families, and just education, just realizing that a lot of the things that we've learned is outdated and not relevant to the world that we live in today. So unlearning and relearning is something that is taking place at this time, and many in the spiritual world or spiritual communities are identifying with as the awakening, soul tribe awakenings, a rebirth, a reset. These are some of the names that are, have been floating around for the past couple years, since the onset, and kind of leading into the pandemic. Our empaths, our intuitives, our readers, our sages, many of them have been getting prophetic messages to prepare for a great shift, a great change, a paradigm shift. And, those of us who had the awareness and enough sense to do the best that we can with what we had to work with, prepared for it. And, some of us haven't. So we're having to figure out how we're going to work together collectively and managing and moving forward and protecting, our mind, bodies, and souls. That's a real thing. It's very important. So with that being said, I have been pretty intuitive all my life. Being a Pisces, that is an element, a zodiac sign that is naturally more intuitive, more water-based, more emotion-based, more emotionally intelligent. If they decide, or if we decide to do the work, the personal development work, the self-awareness and self-mastery work, becoming more disciplined and self-disciplined and respectful of ourselves and our neighbors and all that fun stuff that is not so fun when we compare it to, the turn up, the party, the, living our best lives. Yeah, so with that being said, many of us are discovering and have discovered that, the turn up, the partying, and the fun and partying bullshit lifestyle, has a turning point at some point, whether it is financially or within our physical health and well-being. Changes happen, and we realize that, okay, there's a little bit more to life, and to this thing that we call our bodies, our vessels that God gave us to use and respect and appreciate and honor, as a human, having a human experience with a soul within it. So just making sure that we're taking care of it is important. And many of us come to that understanding, through poor health or accidents where, we lose our mobility, our strength, our, flexibility, or something of the sort. Memory loss, things like that happen, unfortunately, every day. So with that, mindfulness is something that I've been attracted to for a long time because of, being in an auto accident that caused me to have changes in, how I perceive life, how my vision works, and how I process information, and things like that. So here we are today with, like I said, we had the OG Academy, which has evolved and is still evolving into OGs United. It is a platform, a network, um, based around media and truth and solutions and answers, to some of the most interesting questions many of us have, wanted answers to for most, if not all, of our lives. So I'm excited to be introducing this project at the beginning of March, which is, I was reminded a couple of days ago, Women's History Month. So we're leaving out of what we call Black History Month, which I don't really engage and participate in as much as, I did in the past, because, I don't summarize, the history of the original people, what we also call Black people, the Africans, all around the globe, into a month. We don't have a month, specifically for other races. So, every day is Black history to me, personally. So with that being said, we have Women's History Month here, and I am a Pisces here in Pisces season, and we have a Pisces new moon on March 2nd, 2022. So that is telling me so much about just divine timing is a real thing. It's something that I've had to come to a better understanding of, here on my personal journey of becoming, a self-actualized human being, a woman, a soul inside of a vessel, here to learn, grow, and evolve, and, leave a legacy in alignment with that which God has me to do, here to do. So with that being said, I'm excited to introduce my first official podcast show. It's actually going to be called The Reason for the Season. And what I plan to do with this, it's going to evolve over time, but we're getting this started midway through Pisces season, where pretty much at the shift, each month, if you're familiar with the zodiac system, there's 12 signs, and I have more information about that in the Goddess Lounge, as well as in my portfolio in Her Story News and Entertainment at marissablack.com. So if you're interested in learning more about the zodiac system, I have some fun cheat sheets and notes that will help you to, get better understanding and flow better with some of the readings and layouts that we'll be doing and introducing. So the reason for the season, like I said, will be a series of readings that I'll do. For starters, I'll do one that is set at the beginning of the month. If you're familiar with what I've been doing here now for about a little over a year, maybe going on 2 years, time is getting away. But our OG's United Energy Forecast, I do energy reading with the cards using tarot, oracle, and lesson cards to pretty much give us a focus, a lesson, something that we can be focused on to develop our masculine and feminine energy, as an individual human being. And if we're in relationships, partnerships, commitments, where we're able to, look at our partnerships as to how we can better mirror one another and grow and evolve together. So that'll be something that I'll continue doing at the beginning of the month, towards like the last few days at the end of the month, going into the first, basically. I've already released part 1 for March. It is available on all of our platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, and our Miss Black's OG network at marissablack.com. So you can access it in any of those places. But part two, we're going to be launching on Experience TV at marissablack.com. So that is our network that we are launching on Crowdcast. I've taken my time to explore different media platforms from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, and Crowdcast is connected with Patreon as well. So that's another reason why I really like that one. I feel like I'm going to have the freedom that I need to be able to teach and provide the media and information that we're going to need at OGs United to make sure we stay in alignment with truth, get facts that support us in our personal and collective, development. All right. So the reason for the season is going to help us with that. When we shift signs, for instance, we're in Pisces season. The next sign that we'll be going to is Aries. So as we shift into Aries season, I'll be doing another energy reading. So as we shift sun signs each month, we'll be doing another energy reading to support that energy. All right, so I'm excited about that. I'm even thinking of connecting with some of our other ladies in Organized Goddess 11 to do a shared project, collaborations where, we do some type of live readings to see how that goes. So I have some ideas around that, but we'll see. I'll be introducing things gradually as more income starts flowing in and we get into our new space, get, things situated. I'll be documenting, the journey along the way since I am now active on, social media again. So you'll be getting little behind the scenes updates and notifications as to when we'll have different shows or different classes popping up on OGs United, on Experience TV, on our personal platform, which some of the events will be free and some of them will be paid. So the information, of course, will be updated, regularly as needed. And to give you enough time to purchase tickets, if, there's a payment plan needed, we're going to make sure that we share those events in enough time to give you opportunity to prepare, financially. All right. So now, the reason for the season, like I said, the more shows and the more availability I get, I'll basically be updating that along the way. But right now, we're going to stick to about 2 shows a month. Like I said at the beginning, which is going to be the OGs United Energy Forecast, and then the reason for the season at the change of our sun signs. All right. Now, those readings, we're going to be using various decks. I may change them monthly, depending on what energy I'm feeling, goes best, because different decks have different energy associated with them. Some more softer, more artsy, more, for your creatives, and then you have more rigid, more bland, more darker, symbolic images with some of our cards, and those are more for our mentally stoic, very mentally developed people, basically. So depending on who I'm catering to is going to determine, what energy or what tarot and oracle cards I'll be using. I also have a crystal deck, which is a master teacher oracle deck. I'll be using. It has some great healing messages with that. Quickly, our energy for this month right now is the chakra ray, which is chakra balancing number 19. I'll be reading up more about this detailed, in the actual reading. But it's powerful messages that are just telling us that it is time to get in alignment. If you have not already, the song that kept going in the back of my head yesterday was Beyonce, "Okay, ladies, now let's get information." Yes, we got to run that one back. That's what March 2022 is, feeling like here. All right, so also with the part 2 reading, that is going to be where I'm reintroducing tea with Miss Black. I have some tea here. It's just a little lemon ginger decaffeinated tea. I'll be sampling and trying different brands of tea and sharing, the benefits and what I like about them. So with that, I'll be also incorporating the cards. So I'll do an energy reading to get us abundance message. So in the morning times, in the AM, our abundance message is going to be focused on money matters. So I'm going to take a look at what's going on in the world, in the financial world, in economics, economic news. But then I'm also going to look at what I'm getting messages from me intuitively, what I'm seeing, front line and, at work and conversing and talking with different clients, different things that I'm seeing and hearing, and how we could use this information to, be more compassionate and supportive in our community, because, everybody's doing the best that they can with what they have to work with. And as leaders, how we can use this information to get the resources and the tools in the right hands, in the right places, all that great stuff. So our AM abundance message will be, like I said, a combination of current events and spiritual tools and, great words from, things like Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill. And we'll introduce things like our Manifest That Shit guided journal. Whoa, I just dropped my iPad. Yikes. Okay, so I can't afford to be destroying the little electronics that I have that do work right now. So yeah, how about I slow down? All right. Now, really quick, with the abundance message for our March 2022, just to kind of give you a sneak peek if you have not yet checked out part 1, which is available on Patreon. Our abundance message is about partnership. So partnership, then our chakra alignment message was about holistic health. And our soul's journey lesson for the masculine energy is on relationships. And for the feminine energy, it is on envy. So basically, we are overcoming unhealthy, toxic relationships so that we can heal and, focus on what we need to focus on. There's been a great deal of things like slander with these devices and these social media platforms. People have just been, sabotaging people's projects, people's work. We've just got through slanders, gossip, and so forth. And, we have to understand that that's not okay. And, karma is a real thing. And, there's consequences to that type of stuff. So we just want to be careful and be mindful of, how we, talk about people and, how we also approach people, with different things, because people have different life experiences and different perspectives, different lifestyles, different, awarenesses, and just differences. So you can't just assume that people are going to respond and receive different things the way that you will. So we want to be mindful and careful to respect ourselves and, require that same respect from others, but, give that respect in which we desire to get in return, most definitely. So, our abundance messages, our OG's United Energy Forecast, they're going to be readings that are focused on doing that, giving us a different perspective, a different way of looking at a situation that we may be going through at that time, to help us to, manage things better and avoid, different traps and obstacles and challenges and self-sabotage in many cases, or the sabotage of, envious haters. It's a real thing. So when we know better and we're more prepared and our vision is clear and we're focused and, grounded, then we're able to stay on track and, get our work done, get our projects moving, keep our income flow and our finances in order. And we don't have to, be out here looking crazy. And we're going to just leave that part like that. Y'all feel me? So, the Page of Earth is what came up from our Elemental Goddess deck. So that is pretty much telling me that, it is time for us to be focused on our finances. Even though this is Pisces season and, this is more of your loving, want to be intimate, want to be close, want to be, energy. It's also creative energy. And, one thing I always say is, we have different tools, we have different gifts, we have different things that if we learn how to use them more responsibly and better, we could get the results that we want and maintain, those results that we want in life. So with this creative energy, versus, if you're someone who are in a complicated relationship and things aren't clear, versus going and, making a lifelong decision, like, for example, making a baby or, starting a business with someone who you have a rocky relationship with, or things aren't, solid and concrete and stable. You should focus that creative energy or that energy on building, on evolving, on getting to the root of the issues and resolving those before making commitments that aren't going to support the current situation that you may be in. So, I don't know who that was for, but that was for somebody. Because, with Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, that is like a intern or someone who is a student to money, a student to the financial realm, a student to, investments, and maybe like learning about cryptocurrency and bitcoins and, just different types of investments, a student of, the financial realm, of the material realm. That's the energy that we're in right now, and that's a good thing. So in order to, be able to manage what you have and to attract more and to maintain more when you attract it, you have to learn how to be a student of, what it is that you want, which is money, which is wealth, which is abundance, which is, financial freedom, because that is truly freedom. That is truly health. Wealth is truly health. Health is wealth, because wealth is health. You'll get it when you get it. All right. Now, our goddess power is Hestia. I hope I pronounced that right. which is home. So this is what we got yesterday, and underneath Hestia was Isis, Rebirth, which I mentioned earlier. So if you didn't see, that's also number 22. With partnerships, that is a number that is in alignment with partnership as well. We have the pink, in this card, and in our Angels of Abundance deck, pink was the color for partnerships. So there's a lot of synchronicity and consistency to confirm that, we want to make sure that if we're going into partnerships, if we're going into new commitments, if we're bringing new life into this world, or we're giving birth to projects or whatever, that we have a healthy, stable foundation, whatever that looks like for you. So whether that is security-wise, if you're in the digital space, you're securing your work, whether that is in finances, with institutions and platforms and banks that, aren't going to crash and you're going to lose all your assets or all your money, whether that's in, your home space and your business, making sure that things are as secure as you can have them, making sure you're protecting your living space the best as you can from the elements, from intruders, from, weather, and just all of that. Do the best that you can with what you have to work with, but make sure you're doing it for sure, like Nike. All right. So, also, last thing in closing, what you can expect with our Tea with Miss Black. I'm going to close it out with what I'm calling organized guidance. That is where I'm going to use our Egyptian tarot deck. I'm going to draw cards for each element, water, fire, air, and earth. And I'm also going to get a message from our Isis Oracle to wrap it up. And that's going to give us, organized guidance. Make sure we got practical information, tools, and insight to support our leaders in taking care of the businesses and hold it down like we need to. All right. So that is it for now. I'm going to do a separate video later on the remote and breaking down, what you can expect when you go through each category for the remote. I'm going to be dropping out videos, this week on Miss Black's OG Network on YouTube. So if you have not yet followed me, please make sure you do that. The link can be found in our link tree. And that can be accessed in the description box of all of our content, all of our videos, and Patreon posts. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in Linktree. From the remote. If you scroll down, you'll see the Black Book. That is where you can leave your name, email address, your contact information, and a message. So even though I have my email set up as well, I am really behind in my emails and checking them. So the best way to message me right now is through the Black Book. And like I said, you can find that using the remote. Put your message there. As soon as I get it, I'll respond either in my next update, leaving your name anonymous, or I will send you a personal response, depending on the situation. All right. Thank you for your time, attention. If you sat and listened to all of these updates, and stay tuned for the next update. Peace and love.